Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Dyer on how to be a proper Brit, art of tea making, British sayings, Cockney slang, and more. Do not know who Dyer is. I think that's how you pronounce this man's last name. I am guessing he's gonna be like a pretty famous British guy if he's gonna teach us how to be a proper Brit and about like tea. So I'm excited. Let's check it out and comment, like and subscribe.
I think we apologise a bit too much as British people. Yeah, they need to calm down a little bit, Americans. They get very excitable over shit they shouldn't do. They don't understand what a cup of tea is. Long live having a pint at 5 bells in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dyer, and this is how you become a true fucking Brit.
Danny, you are taking on the British test today. We've done it with a few Yanks, and I think you are the ultimate British man to do this test. What do you think it is to be British?
What is it to be British? I think for me, nostalgia. I was brought up in the East End during the 80s. And you sort of men were men, whatever the fuck that means. I was brought up by very, very strong matriarchs, women, East London women. But, you know, that's the great thing about, you know, Britain, you know, the diversity of it all. I think we apologise a bit too much as British people. I think that needs to stop a little bit, you know. I don't know, at the moment it's hard to define anything.
I think they're famous for they like, pardon?
You know, everything's all up in the air, a lot of division in the world, a lot of hatred. We're living in the age of hate. Everyone wants to hate some fucker. Cup of tea's important, of course, and, you know, fish and chips, pie mash, that sort of stuff. Seafood, I think, is quite a British thing. On a beach, you know, with the sea wrapping up nappies and
Well, it makes sense, right? Because they're in an island, so of course they're surrounded by fish.
Puns, you know. A cup of tea is very important, you're right.
Okay, how'd you make a proper British cup of tea?
If we could we get you to make the perfect
cup of tea? Well, being from East London, I mean, Yorkshire tea, I mean, the Northerners would argue
it's famous?
Oh, that's green tea. I don't want nothing to do with that. Well, I've got to go Yorkshire tea because it's the only ones you got, I suppose.
Which one? What would you be your brand of
choice? Probably go a bit of PG. So, boom.
This is interesting because I thought the most famous one isn't like the McCormick's, but I think this was like the random one. But the one that's like Twinings tea, like isn't that the famous one?
You put your I mean my nan used to you know, do it the old school with teapot, not with tea leaves obviously. I mean she weren't that old, but you know teapots have never been my thing.
What do you think of the like?
I think it's nice. If I were into like tea, I would have my teacup
out in front of you because the Americans love.
I'm scared because I'm seeing a microwave. Like, don't they use like electric kettles?
I love a microwave for their brew.
Yeah, I've heard about that, but I mean, I don't know what all this is about really. I mean, a cup of tea is very simple. You get your tea bag, you whack it in there, and then just put your hot water in.
So what do you think?
Okay, hold on. Should you put like the water first and then like the tea bag? Is it the other way around?
It's shit.
What do you think to when we had Seth Rogen on, topped it with whipped cream? Just American.
Yeah, I think he needs a bit of therapy, the geezer. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, it's just not a thing over there, is it? They don't understand what a cup of tea is. I'll tell you what Britishness is. Fish and chips with a cup of tea. I know that sounds mad, but the idea of eating fish and chips with a cup of tea is...
That sounds disgusting, I'm sorry, but like a cup of tea with like fish, that doesn't sound that appealing to me.
It's the one for me. I mean, why would you have this on the table? I mean, is this what Americans would do? I mean, what would you use a ladle for?
We're being harsh, we just wanted to confuse them.
You're never going to confuse me, son. Oh, I mean,
I thought they had to...
So you go to a house, they start making you a brew, they put the microwave on. What's the scenario there?
Well, I think I'd probably slip off, get myself an Uber, because it makes no sense. You put the tea bag in first. That's what I do. That's how I was taught. I like a strong cup of tea. And I know some people are very different. Some people leave the tea bag in. That's always a nutty one. I like my cup of tea. It should be the same colour as a Werther's. A Werther's original. Is that a British thing, Werther's?
Oh, yeah.
Love a Werther's. Interesting Werther's because when I do a play, you know when it's a matinee.
Now I have questions. What kind of tea is this to begin with? Is it like green tea, black tea? What is it? Cranberry tea?
And it's all the old lot in, the old girl sitting in the front row folding the kit, but you get a hit of Werther's as you walk out on the stage. It's like, oh, it makes you faint. Although I like the smell of it.
Okay.
So I'd leave the tea bag in as long as possible.
Okay, so concentrated.
Some people use a tea bag again, didn't they? And I get that. We live in a world of food banks, which is bollocks, but we're not going to get political. No milk on the
Yeah, isn't that like, I mean, if you're in a very tough spot, like financially, I would assume you would do that, but I don't think that you're supposed to.
Table.
So you would finish it off with some milk if we had it there?
I'd have a little splash of milk. Like I said, it's got to be the same colour as a Werther's. I would just dip it in there like that.
Is that sugar?
Just a little bit of something, you know what I mean? You've got no milk on the table for some reason. I have been known to have tea without milk and all. I think the Turkish do that, didn't they?
They love a tea without milk.
They do a nutty tea.
Well, they take it more seriously.
Yeah, they do. But they pour it from great heights and all that. You ain't got time for all that bollock.
I like the only way, I honestly think the only way that I can sort of, I'm not like a tea drinker, I'm not a fan of like tea in general, but if I'm having a cup of tea, you know, if I have to, the only way I can tolerate this is with milk.
So yeah, that would be me, you know.
I feel like you're like that in the pub as well, if there was cocktail making, just pour us a pint.
Yeah, mate, come on. Fucking about, you know, throwing that thing up in the air and making loads of noise. Just give me a booze, mate. Lively. I've had a tough day. I'll leave all this bollocks for the Americans, the ground cinnamon.
What would your message be to the Americans who
cinnamon and tea, is that a thing?
just don't get tea?
Yeah,
just don't get it.
Yeah, they need to calm down a little bit, Americans. They get very excitable over shit they shouldn't do. Leave the tea alone. It ain't your game. I know they love a cup of coffee. You know, they're obsessed with it, aren't they? They have these weird percolators and stuff, do you know what I mean? But they drink coffee all day. I do like a coffee. I'm an espresso man, so I like to cut out the middleman and just go straight to the brain cells. I drink coffee for a reason. That's to stimulate me. I don't want to suck on a latte for half hour. I just can't be fucked. I don't want too much coffee, you know what I mean? So for me, double espresso.
I do not understand this man. I'm like, give me all the coffee. I cannot handle that much tea. I'm like, tea makes me a little bit nauseous, to be honest.
So, sometimes with a bit of sugar in it. Bump, get it down, yeah. Get on with your day.
It's the new generation now, isn't it? Iced latte, man.
But it does work. I've just got me through many jobs.
Oh yeah, but hold on. It depends as well. Like you can have an espresso, you can have like black coffee and Americano, or you can have like a latte or a frappuccino or whatever. Like there's like so many different types of coffee, but I think when you're talking coffee, you're talking actual like real coffee, not the ones that are just, you know, like the concoctions, like the very sugary concoctions that do not really have any like coffee in them. No, I'm referring to actual coffee.
You know, when you're a bit low and you just need that little boost. If you drink too many, you know a good place.
Once you actually get used to coffee and caffeine, it does nothing for you. Like it doesn't really, like it doesn't get you all like, oh, I'm super hyper. No, like you're just like, you build a tolerance and it doesn't work the same.
It's a good coffee shop and you start getting the shakes. I like the shakes.
Yeah, like you're not getting the shakes. If you're used to drinking coffee, like the caffeine just sort of like your body tolerates caffeine. And it just like, it does nothing for you. It's like, I'm totally okay after like 2 cups of coffee.
I like the old art going, do you know what I mean? Because it's legal.
I was going to say, that's a new improved cheer.
It's a legal way of getting an old art beating, you know what I mean? So stimulants all day long as they're legal. So that will be my cup of tea, sunshine. I'm still very much, even though I've earned a few quid, a working class kid. And I think the films I make, like Marching Powder, are representing the working class. And
he's an actor?
We're not
a director?
the elite trying to make a working class film for the elite. I recently found out that 7% of people in the arts are working class, which is fucking outrageous and disgusting. The working classes are going for a very tough time at the moment, and they need to be represented in the right way, and they need to have a belief and feel that they can, you know, the arts is for everybody. And it has become quite elitist. We need to get these young kids, you know, watching stuff that they go, I think I could do that, instead of running around, you know, sort of attacking each other, stabbing each other. There's a lot of violence in the air. They're very disenfranchised at the moment, and they need to believe that they can be somebody. And we're not making films for the BAFTA mob. We're making it for a generation of people, and I think that it's very authentic and it's real, and that's why it's a bit sweary. But working class people do swear, not all. You know, but most of them do, and you know, we speak in a certain way, and it's all that. You know, the word "cunt" is a word that people avoid, but you know, in the film especially, it's a term of endearment.
I think it's different because I think in the U.S., like that's really offensive, but I know that the British people use it as in like more normal way. But I think, you know, in the U.S. that's really real. You shouldn't call people that.
And it sounds awful and weird and odd, but it's the truth. And I was brought up by very strong women that said the word "cunt," not in an aggressive way.
Yeah, because it's different there.
Later on that there's certain circles that I can't use that word, and I get it. I understand it. So
okay, apparently in some circles in the UK you can't. Okay, good to know.
It's not for everybody, but actually it's not a word you should shy away from, and especially at the moment when people are just sort of ticking boxes and are frightened of, you know, making anything slightly controversial. Being working class certainly shouldn't be controversial. So, you know, this film Marching Powder is a love story between working class people. It's Bridget Jones with the word cunt.
Oh my, okay.
So, going to give you some cue cards. The
Wonderful.
first one is British sayings, Danny, and you just need to guess what these British sayings mean. And they're not obviously from your neck of the woods.
No, they ain't.
So
No.
I'm interested to know how you actually get on with this.
Okay, so your tis. Your
Your
tis.
tits?
Your tis. Your tis. I don't know what the fuck that is. Your tis.
Do you want a clue where it's from?
Go on.
Devon.
Devon.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, no one goes to Devon anymore. Good gaff, Devon. Beautiful beaches. I don't know what that is. What is it?
That means here it is. Here it is.
Your tis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Okay, I thought it was something completely different.
Devon again.
Snishams. Now, there's a saying in London which is nishmans. You'd say
What is
nish,
that?
which means no or nothing. Nitto's
okay.
one, Nitto, which means the old bill will come in. Snishams. What area is this?
Devon again. And this
What
is
the
not.
fuck are we on? Is this all Devon?
There's two more and they're not Devon, no.
Okay, so snish. I don't know what that is either.
Do you want me to use it in a context as well?
Snishams. Well, yeah.
Just had an allergic reaction. I've had snishams.
Come out in like pimples or in hives or something. Snishams. I've had an allergic reaction.
Sneezing.
Oh, I thought it was
I
hives.
suppose this is what people like with Cockney rhyming slang, isn't they?
The thing is, though, do you reckon it's possible to sound hard when you're from Devon with those two
No,
sayings?
I don't think there's anyone hard in Devon. They're very kind, considerate people, I would think, and they're all surfers. They're brought up with the waves, and nice beaches. Some of the beaches in Devon are better than the ones abroad. Isn't
Good to know. And now I'm scared of going to Devon. I think I'm not going to understand a word.
Isn't that sounds Scottish to me?
It is.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Like, isn't it?
Sound mank. Isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, that does sound a bit.
I think it's something like that.
Isn't it? So I don't
Close.
know.
Is not.
Is not.
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, because nay is in Scotland, that's no, right? Yeah.
Isn't
makes
it?
sense.
Doesn't it? This is bollocks. This is gadget.
Like gadget?
What manor is it?
Newcastle.
Gadget. I can't do.
Give me a gadget?
I can barely speak fucking English.
Yeah.
Gadget. Gadget.
No idea.
You heard Radji?
Gadget. No, I don't know what Reggie is either.
Never watched Geordie Shore?
Gadget. No, darling. No, not for me. Not for me.
What a shame.
A lot of people noshing each other off and that, and it's. I remember Robson Green had the ump over it once. I remember reading an interview, and he felt that it was really sort of detrimental to the Newcastle people, but clearly people love it. Gadget could mean come here,
No.
Gadji.
fuck
I don't
off.
think it is.
It means, if I was to say, oh, he's a gadgie,
He's a nice geezer. He's a gadget.
it just means adult male.
It means an. Now explain to me what that means.
Okay,
adult
I
male,
hate this.
Gadget. A gadget.
Yeah, like how come? Oh, because like it comes from gentleman or something, and it was transformed into a gadget. What? This makes me mad, actually.
So is this on it a lot, that Geordie Shore, that gadget? They say gadget.
They say Radji as well.
And they say that's for a treacle, is it?
I think so.
Gadget and Maggie.
It's just like you saying treacle, I suppose.
Suppose it is. Treacleitis. The point of Cockney slang is really it was to be able to talk in front of the old bill being the police, and them not understand, or being in prison.
Oh, okay.
What the screws can't understand you. So I mean, a Roger Hunt, it would be a cunt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't be Burke. I suppose what you're saying. Look, the thing about the word cunt is that you can use it in any context. It doesn't have to be detrimental to someone. I understand that the feminists in the room will hate that word because we feel like we're talking about someone's anatomy. But you can say, I'm off me cunt. I feel like I'm off me cunt. Come here, you little cunt. I love you. That sort of thing. I'm cunted
It's true.
as well. That's another one. You can use it in many different ways. So it doesn't
True.
have to be, someone is a cunt.
Yeah, in a derogative way. Like, it could be nice. I get it. Well, depending on how you take it. But yeah, sure, it can be nice.
Next one, Jack and Danny. Obviously, marching
Like Jack and-
burger, which is a play on words. My name's Jack in it. My wife's called Danny, which is a bit
I was like, Jack Daniels? Is that it?
weird when I first read it because obviously my daughter Danny was in Love Island and she got with a guy called Jack. So that was a bit odd. I did fight it, but it didn't work out for me. So Jack and Danny is Fanny. Fanny being another word that I think not for the feminists, but doesn't have to be about their body.
It's just a
Someone can
word.
be a
Yeah.
Fanny. Which again,
Interesting. I did not know that. I thought it was just female anatomy. I didn't really know that you could be called that.
It's slightly misogynistic. You know, this is a kettle. So you would say kettle and hob, fob, watch. That's a long-winded one. But you would say, especially if you're selling them, I've got some Jekyll kettles, which Jekyll and Hyde is snide. So Jekyll kettles, you know, they're not real. They're not real watches, basically. I think it's dying out, slang, which is a real shame. I think that
I would not understand a word of, like, if I were there, I would not understand anything. I would like, can you, I don't think we're speaking the same language, actually.
Say it because my dad said it a lot and I was around it, sitting in working man clubs growing up and people using it and it sort of rubs off on you. I've now got very privileged children because obviously I've earned a few quid, so I took them out to the council estate. I took them around my area recently because I go back and see a few people and they won't get out of the car. New generations come through. And, you know, they've got different twang to their accents and stuff.
Yes.
So, you know, I'm all for it for sure, but I think my generation is probably the last breed to say it. This one, yeah, butchers, have a butchers. I say have a pipe. And it doesn't rhyme with anything, just have a pipe at this. That's what I would say. But butcher's hook is look, have a butcher's at this. Have a butcher's at that, you know, butcher's hook to look. That is quite a common one. A very old school Victorian one as well, I would have thought. I quite like, which is could be deemed as a new age one, is that, you know, when you stop and have a bit of Brady, which is Brady bunch lunch. You know, what's for Brady? You know what I mean? I quite like that one. That's quite a smooth one.
Okay.
Okay, so someone offers you a cuppa, but as you watch them make it, they put the milk in first. Do you A, not say anything and accept the drink, B, kick off royally and call him a slag, or C, demonstrate how to do it properly?
The British way would be to ignore it, right?
I wouldn't kick off royally. I mean, there's bigger shit going on in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, priorities.
Slag. I'll probably demonstrate to do it properly. I'll say, any chance we can go again on this tea? We'll keep the tea bag, don't want to waste them. And then I would do it my way because it's a weird one, putting the milk in first. I don't understand it. It's just weird.
That's strange, right?
I wouldn't be that polite. It depends as well, you know. If it was
I think you can have A or C.
Can I have A or C? I think I would, because if it's an old girl who's been doing it for years and I'm round her gaff, I don't know why I'm there. And you know, she does it, then I would absolutely accept her a cup of tea.
You wouldn't just push her out of the way?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be respectful to her and I'd probably put the lips on her. Someone has just walked into you and it's their fault. Do you not say anything, knock 10 bells of shit out of them?
Oh my God.
For being an obstacle. I wouldn't apologise if someone's banged into me. I would pipe at them. I'll have butchers at them probably. See what sort of reaction I get and then probably knock 10 bells of shit out of them if they wanted to square up. And you never know on the streets today. So if someone's smashed into me and it's their fault, then you certainly don't apologise, and too many Brits do. So that's probably the...
Oh, because you're apologising is like, oh, it's my fault, although it isn't your fault. I think that's weird. I don't think I would... No, I would be passive-aggressive, actually.
Answer I should give to be British. Oh, sorry. You know, we apologise about apologising, don't we?
Yeah, it's exactly.
So depending on the confrontation. I wouldn't say anything. I'd sort of pipe at them. See what reaction I get, and then if it goes off, and then just stick the nut on them.
No, I would be upset about apologizing for this. Like, it's your fault, so I wouldn't either say anything or I would be passive aggressive about the whole thing. Like, oh, am I in your way?
See, I feel like I'm learning so much because I'm very much a British yourself. Sorry about that, mate. Just be on with my day.
It depends, doesn't it? Again, on the, you know, if it's someone sort of taking a piss, you've got to stand up yourself. There's not enough.
Yeah. If it's someone like you're seeing like wants trouble, like, well, yeah, that depends on you. But like, if it's just a random person that it's like, come on, like, be more careful.
That. You know what I mean? It's usually people on the blower because everyone now walks around like that, don't they? Like zombies. This technological age is killing us as a society. It's killing our kids. We don't interact anymore. We don't engage anymore. Everyone's an avatar.
Sometimes,
Can't go back on it now. It's fucking sad. It's 5 bells in the morning, 5 a.m, and you're at the airport waiting for a flight. Do you, A, get a pint, B, catch up on some reading, or C, try and get a nap in?
You know, I would get a pint.
Why is it we're allowed, and I love it, why are we allowed to have a fucking ice
The airport is sort of like the lawless land, so yeah, sure, have a pint.
cold pint before a flight? Doesn't matter. There is no time in an airport. There is
Correct.
something about airport stress I don't like. It's quite a stressful thing. I've flown many, many times, but you always worry about your passport, and you always feel a bit
Not always,
digi when you're in an airport for some reason. You know, you're fucking like that. You're looking at a board fucking 20 times. You
need to calm down.
You know, there's a panic. There's an element of panic. I don't know why.
It shouldn't
So
be.
it's always important to suck on a couple of pints. The first one always goes down beautifully, though.
A couple, well,
Especially at sort of...
a pint is quite large. I don't think I think they will have to drag me down. But maybe a pint, maybe one, not two, but one.
5 in the morning. It's amazing.
Depending on your tolerance.
You've had 2 hours kip, and everyone's doing it. You're looking at you're not odd.
Yeah,
No.
there's a few people judging you a little bit, but it's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but fuck them. They're the minority, to be fair, aren't they? So, you know, you walk down the street 5 a.m. in the morning with a can of Tennent's in your hand, you're going to get some looks. But, you know, an airport is celebrated, and so it should be. Long live having a pint at 5 bells in the morning.
That is Britain.
It is, and it's fucking great. Not much to cling on to, but that's one of them.
Danny, you know what? I'm going to give you a pass in terms of being a true Brit.
I'd like to think so, mate.
You smashed every single one, and to commemorate the occasion, we've got you a
this is
Joe
amazing.
British passport
Thank
now.
you
So
very well. Yeah.
Yeah, you've now got 2 passports.
This is amazing. The United States, and all the British test, I passed it. It's one of my greatest achievements, and I've achieved a lot in my life. But that's up there, so thank you very much.
Yeah,
You
nothing
are
compared to
one of the
this.
British people.
Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated.
Okay, this was very funny. I do not know who this guy is. I think he was hilarious. I think apparently like he makes films, so I don't really know if he's like a writer, director, or actor, but he is actually pretty funny. I'm wondering if he does comedies because like his humor is very like I don't know. I liked his humor. Like he was like very, very, very funny. I think the whole like there's like several things to begin with, like the Cockney accent and I think it was Cockney, right? The Cockney accent apparently from Devon, a lot of things from Devon. I don't really which like British sayings, I don't know, like I didn't really understand a word like between the Cockney slang and the British sayings from other parts of England. I really did not understand a word. I think like they were talking is like you're speaking a different language that I'm not familiar with because it was weird because some words sounded like some other words that I would expect, you know, like if you tell me, I don't know, like I don't know, certain words, I think like you by context, I think like, oh, it sounds similar to something that I kind of know. So I would like say, yeah, sure. Like I think it was like the one that made me really upset. It was the gadget. I think it was gadget. Like gadget to me sounds like gadget. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe it means something like a device or something of the sort. But it's like, no, it's like a gentleman. It's like, oh my God, just like an adult male. What? Like, what are you talking about? Like, that makes me upset because I wasn't able to get anything. And I was like, no, I have no idea what you could possibly mean. The only one that I was like, okay, well, the isn't it? I don't know how that's pronounced, but it was like, oh, isn't it? Yeah, by context is cottage, and nay, I know that in Scotland means snow. So yeah, that one makes a little sense. But the others, I'm like, oh my God, this niche mush, something like that. It's like, it sounds like you have a condition. It doesn't sound like you're sneezing. Like it just means like, oh, you're sneezing. Like the sneeze moves. Like what is that? It sounds like maybe like I don't know, like sinusitis. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't like that. I'm like I have no idea. He actually mentioned that a lot of people do not actually talk like that in this like in this maybe like right now. Although I think like maybe I'm confusing both like the British sayings with the Cockney slang. But because he did mention that, especially I think it was like the Cockney slang that a lot of people, probably younger people, like a younger generation, probably, I know people beyond, under, I don't know, 50 maybe, I don't know, 45, 50, they are not that familiar with the Cockney slang because they're just like, I don't know, it was sort of like a lost art. It is an art, actually, to be able to sort of like decode things and I don't know, just, I think it really, like, you can't actually learn how to talk and how to speak like this. It's just something that you sort of like acquire by absorbing like the slang, because in slang that's usually the case with slang. Like no one teaches you. It's just something that I know you acquire, you absorb just by nature of interacting and living. So I really do think it's kind of like a sad thing, right? Apparently, according to him, like no. It's been like that sort of like art has been lost a little bit, and again, like younger generations do not, someone starts speaking, Cockney slang, like a lot of younger people will be like, I have no idea what you're on about. So I really do think that's sad because those kind of things I think should be preserved. And I get it, like language and just accents. He also mentioned the accent. I think those things sort of like evolve with time, and it's just not something that you can actually control, because it's just like the nature of the passing of time. Like that's just how life works and how the world works. But it is kind of like sad that there hasn't been like some sort of effort maybe to preserve it. But I think because of the nature that I didn't really understand. I know that Cockney slang is a thing, and I know that yes, they have like certain words that I do not know apparently anything about. Again, like I've never heard of those, but I know that I know what Cockney slang is, but I didn't really know like the backstory. I didn't know that it was because they wanted to hide what they were talking, like we want to hide what we're talking about, with the police, because always the police and I don't know, do they call them pigs as well over there? Probably not. Like the pigs are going to be overhearing us, so we have to like have a little terms, so like no one knows what we're on about. I thought they were doing like illegal things probably. I do not know that that's probably how it started. I think that's something from like the 1800s, right? Like that's a really old-timey thing. But I don't know if it had evolved. And by the time that he said, like, I remember like as a child, like listening to my dad just talking with his friends or at the pub, at the bar, just him like with Cockney slang. Again, it's something that you sort of absorb just by the nature of, you're just like knowing people and interacting with the world. And he was like, I remember like them talking about this. But is it like, and I'm wondering like, yeah, and they got it, like he got it from his dad, and his dad got it from his granddad, and the granddad got it from his dad. So it was like that, but it maybe had evolved, and maybe, in the early 1900s, maybe was a different sort of like Cockney slang, and some of the things didn't actually mean what they mean now, or what they mean for him. Like those things are different, or maybe it hasn't changed, which would love to know. But I think it's fascinating, the whole like Cockney situation, and the fact that it's been lost, in this time. It's a little sad. It's like I get there's those kind of things should be preserved, although I get it, like it's a little, by the nature of it all, of them being like, yes, they were trying to like hide from authorities or the police. You can't actually preserve that in writing, because obviously it would defeat the purpose of them. They'll know what we're on about. But I think again, in this modern times, is it really necessary? You're not trying to hide things from the police, because if you're into some sort of like criminal activity, there are other ways. Like the police are not going to overhear you. Like I don't know, they can. Like when I'm going is like, if they wanted to spy on you, like they would. You don't need to like talk out and speak out loud. Like they'll I don't know, they'll put a tracker on your phone. I don't know. Like there are other ways. Now Cockney slang is just like a way of like how people speak. So I would hate to see this lost in 1 or 2 generations. That apparently he's been lost. So I know maybe younger people should actually like get here and get with the Cockney and start like incorporating some Cockney slang. Although again, it's hard, like those things just happen like naturally, but it makes me like a little sad. The British sayings, and again with the British sayings, I had no idea what a lot of these things meant, but he actually didn't know either. So it's like, okay, I think it really does depend. Again, like a lot of things, you can't put like, oh, it's the whole like England in just one thing, like the whole Britain. No, the whole of Britain, like they have a lot of territories. They have a lot of cities, a lot of like I don't know, areas. So, and it doesn't really mean the same, like, like he said, like people from the north, like they speak different, and words mean different things, and people from the south, like it just means something different. Even him, that I think he was from East London, if I'm not mistaken, like I would bet, like he like sees himself as his upbringing, like he sees it different from someone from, I don't know, like North London probably. Like he sees it as something different and separate, because he was like, I grew up like in East London specifically, and we have a whole code of like, I don't know, a code of conduct and a conduct of, I don't know, even like the way we speak is different from, the ones on South London, for instance. They have their own sort of like their own code. So it really, because it's very like centralized in a way, and it's like, yeah, you can't actually like take on things from like other, and this is like in the same city, so you can't take on, and you would see the others as like separate, as like a separate entity, and you're like, I don't know what you're on about. Because as we saw, like he was like, I don't know, it's not, you asked me about things about London and East London, but they were asking him about Devon. I do not know where Devon is. Apparently there's beaches, mostly near the coast, but I don't know if it was like in the south or in the north or in the west, whatever. That he was like, I have no idea what they mean. So he's like, yeah, well, of course, it's like, you have to make it interesting. But yes, it really does go to show something that can be a bit lost. is that you can't paint, this like, oh, the whole England. It's like, no, it's not the whole thing. Like some things and some words and some, I don't know, habits and customs are more particular to one specific area, and you can't just be like, oh yeah, everyone does it. And as for the tea, I made my thoughts like very, very, very clear. I feel like it was like, I think like, I don't know what they go on about, like, oh, a cuppa, like, so important. You have to make the perfect cup of tea. It's like, it didn't seem that hard, to be honest. It's just like, yeah, you grab like the tea bag, you boil water, put it on, that's it, pour it, that's it. It doesn't really, like, there's no art in this. Like, I thought it was gonna be harder, like they were going to use like tea leaves, I don't know, like the kettle has to boil at one specific like temperature, and we put like, I don't know, don't they put, actually, now come to think about it, don't they put like lemon, like little lemon slices? Is that a thing? Is that for decorating? The people do not actually like put the lemon, like the lemon drops, little drops of lemon juice in it. Apparently not. Apparently the custom is like milk. Yeah, sure, they do it with milk. A little splash, although I think it just depends on taste. Like some people would probably like, no, I like, the milk. Like I want more milk than tea. Like I want a very weak tea, while others probably like, no, a very strong tea. But I think like, again, it's like, it doesn't really make like, they had like a bunch of stuff, and it's like, you just need a tea bag and water. That's it. Okay, well, that doesn't seem that hard. So I don't understand why they're constantly going on about like, oh, you're ruining the tea. It's like, why am I ruining this tea? Like, it's just like, again, water and a tea bag. Like, how hard can it be? But, and apparently, yeah, he passed the British test. So, that's how British people make their tea. It's just like, it seems simpler than I would have thought previously, because they're constantly going on about like, oh my God, like the perfect teacup. It's like, the perfect cuppa. It's like, okay, well, you just like boil water, pour it in, that's it. I think like you just can't get like fancy in like, oh, cinnamon, apparently that's not a thing. Like, do not put anything on it, and do not put the milk in first, which I think that would be quite like, I would think that's like psychopath behavior, because why would you put milk? Like, no, of course, like if you're doing tea, we're doing tea, we're not doing milk. So the milk is just an accessory to the tea. So why would I pour the milk first and then the tea? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I think like, unless, and I'm like, I don't think people actually do this, I'm gonna boil the milk and then I'm gonna like make the tea in the, pour the little, like, we'll put the little tea bag into the cup of like boiling milk. That seems like a real weird thing that I don't think it's done. That would be like, what are you, like, I don't think that's right. So again, I do not know much about tea, because again, I'm not really like a tea drinker. I dislike the taste. It tastes very tea-like. I think it tastes like grass. It tastes very herbal, which I do not actually enjoy. So like, they're making fun of like, oh yeah, coffee is like the coffee. No, but I think like, give me a cup of coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. I'm not a tea drinker. I just like the taste. It's just like, it's very strong. It's just very herbal, which I do not like. But I think like, you can make the great case where like, people that are not coffee drinkers, probably a lot of like British people will tell me the same thing about like, no, coffee tastes very like, it tastes like coffee. It tastes like very, very strong. And it's like, yeah, well, that's the thing. That's how it should be. Like, that's the point of having coffee. Just as me complaining about the taste of the with like, oh yeah, the tea taste is very like herbal and very like, it tastes like grass. And they're like, yeah, well, that's the point. It's tea. So, we're just going to agree to disagree. I'm sorry. I think tea is a little disgusting, to be honest. Like, again, the only way I can tolerate this is with a little bit of milk, and like, and I know, and I'm not even like a huge fan of milk. I rather have like almond milk or oat milk. Actually, tea with oat milk, that's actually quite nice, which not just like milk as in like actual cow's milk. Oat milk tastes really good with tea. Again, if I have to like tolerate the tea situation, it's like, give me a little oat milk. I don't know if that's done over there. All the milk that they use is just cow's milk, or are they allowed to use like other types of milk? I'm wondering if that's normal, because if it's not normal, maybe they should go on with that, because again, like something like oat milk, I don't have almond milk, I don't think it tastes, but it's normal. But oat milk and tea, like, actually a good combo. Like, not enough to tempt me into drinking this every day, but it makes it tolerable. It makes it like less sort of like nauseating, at least for people like me that do not really enjoy their tea. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!